All right, everybody, welcome to our fourth episode of the Pasco Connect podcast, and I have Hunter Viens, who has just joined me at my RE/MAX office here in downtown Port Richey as a new agent, and Hunter's going to be working with us and growing with us, and we can't wait to see what he's able to accomplish in his new real estate career. You excited?
I'm definitely excited.
Welcome to the podcast and welcome to the team. I am very personally excited. I'm happy to share with everybody here kind of the story of how we got to meet, and a lot of people probably don't know, but every year we do a scholarship at Mitchell High School, which is where I'm alumni at, and the scholarship program is a tech scholarship, and we give away a laptop to one lucky student. So the first year, Hunter was actually the recipient of that scholarship program, and that's how I got to meet Hunter. And then once I met him, we kind of gelled really well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That was definitely a big thing, that we gelled really well, and we decided to bring Hunter in as an intern. So Hunter interned for a while, and then he started picking up some additional roles, and now he's been licensed since last week, so it's a relatively new thing, and he's an agent now. So he's going to be showing properties and learning this business and doing what we do already every day and growing. So welcome to the team.
Thank you.
And I'm really excited to see all the awesome things you're going to accomplish soon.
So excited.
So let's get started with some questions, because so you started with us as an intern. What first drew you to real estate besides me? It might have been some of the driving factor, but
Well, you're right. You were definitely a driving factor for sure. But so my whole life I've been pretty interested in real estate, investments, just always looking at every different avenue that I could go and things that I was interested in, kind of just trying to take in everything as like a sponge, just see every different aspect of things and look them up. But when I got the scholarship, that obviously opened my eyes to a new like possible career and avenue of just all new things to learn.
well, and sometimes too, being at the right place at the right time. Things in life are always about timing. So you just happen to be at the right place. In fact, if I remember correctly, I think you were the last person to input for the scholarship.
Yeah.
You were the last entry, so it was funny because I can remember when Michelle Chamberlain, she said, "I got one more for you," and she's like, and I looked at it and then I read it. I was like, "Oh, this is exactly what I was looking for the scholarship."
Yeah.
So I mean, sometimes timing is very important in life,
Yeah.
and that's certainly one of those things. But also too, you're 19 now. You just had a birthday, and the world is your avenue. I mean, you can do absolutely anything. You're smart, and you're getting well educated. You're at USF now, so all of those things allow you to kind of do a little bit of anything you want, and you can drive that direction with anything with a good base. So I'm certainly excited that you've chosen kind of real estate as something you're exploring, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's something you're going to be really good at, and being here where you have me and the team behind you as well to support you and teach you, because there's a lot to learn in this. But I'm still learning. I've been doing it almost 10 years, so it's a constant thing. I want to ask you another question. What is one of the biggest surprises or learning moments you had during your internship? Because you spent about a year?
About like a year on and off, coming and just hanging out, just
learning,
going on different appointments and everything. Biggest surprise, definitely the amount that goes into the whole process itself. Like, even though on the surface, like, just like me as just like a random kid looking at real estate in general and being like, oh, you just get them to sign that contract and you sell the house. That's not all that goes into it. There's a lot more that goes into it.
There's a lot. So now quite a bit more. So tell us, like, on the surface, like, what does the level look like? What does the process look like from your perspective of where you're at? For like walking somebody through the process, like what so far, and obviously you're still have a lot to learn, but it's always interesting to see, that we take a client, we might be showing some properties, then you write the contract, right? Then you get that accepted.
Then after the contract, that's when it really begins. If I'm being honest. There's so many things that can go wrong. There's inspections. There's just
appraisals,
all sort of little nitpicky things that go into it that can cause
cause all kinds of
lot of
chaos,
problems.
or for it to go really smoothly. It could be a
Exactly.
great property and everything's, smooth sailing, and we cross our fingers for when that happens. Because sometimes they are smooth and easy, and then most of the time they're not. And
Yeah.
that's the like backstory that everybody thinks you can just go get licensed. And
No, it's not that easy as well.
And it's
but
an easy process to sell properties. It is not people. Peopling is hard. That's
Definitely.
probably the biggest thing. We're dealing with people's money and their emotions,
and
their,
it's the biggest purchase of their life, most
Yeah,
likely. So
typically,
it's like, you got to take care of them as
you
well
have
as
to
you can.
100% make sure that they're protected, and that's the biggest thing that we really do is in our involvement. You're going to fall in love with the right property all on your own, like the client's going to, but making sure that we don't let them buy something that's a piece of crap or that they can't use properly. Or look, I was just at the county this morning looking at a land with zoning on how they could actually use the property. Well, it turns out that property, you can't get to it. So if you can't access it because the road has a wetlands area and they're not going to let you improve it, I don't care how great of a deal you got on the 10 acres. There's no point. You can't, unless you're flying a helicopter in and out every time. It's not going to work. So, okay. So now that you're officially an agent, what part of the business are you most excited for?
Well, honestly, my whole life I've loved talking to people, getting to know new people.
You're going to do that a lot.
Yeah, which is good. That's exactly what I'm looking forward to the most. That's exactly what my answer would be is getting to know new people, make new connections, and just help people along their journeys, which are most of the time, as I said, it's the biggest journey of their life. So and having you guys there as well to support me.
100%. Like, we're not going to
ask questions or whatever. Like, it's just an amazing setup, and I'm happy and glad that I have the chance to help a lot of people. So.
You have in my opinion, and again, this is only my opinion, I think you have an awesome opportunity with us here supporting you, but you are willing to do the work, and that's the biggest factor that you have to understand. If you're not willing to put in the time to do the work, I could give you the entire playbook of exactly what it takes to win in this business, and if you're not going to get off your ass and do it, it's not going to happen. So I really appreciate the drive. I see a lot of the drive that you have and a lot of the behaviors that I have and the other people on the team, that together we are a force in this business. We make sure that nothing goes wrong and that we check all the boxes. We cross the T's and dot the I's constantly, but we have the driving force to move forward and overcome, anything that could be a problem within the process. So that's really good, and that's one of the things that I admire in you and am appreciative of you being here, is that you share those same values and goals as I do and the team does, and that is so important to all of us here in the office. So that's really cool. Let's see. I'm gonna move around a little bit. Lexi gives me a list, and I have to,
Gotta go off.
Okay, so what do you think sets our team apart?
From the rest?
Yeah. Now you've seen some of the stuff we deal with agents and other members that are in the business, and
honestly, this team, everybody, in my eyes, is amazing and like perfect to work with, which is why I decided that I obviously want to become an agent and do this in the first place.
Yeah, we're gonna make you crazy. That's what we're gonna do.
Well, I'm crazy too, so but no, definitely. Even though it can get hectic and people can, get a little frustrated or worked up. The crazy thing about it is that everyone here is so close and just works so well together that no matter what happens, everyone's able to just bounce back and take care of stuff.
One of my favorite stories, and this just happened a couple weeks ago, and you were here, and it was like late on a Friday, and Josiah walked in, and we had an issue that we were all trying to solve, and it was like Lori jumped in and was pulling stuff up, Lynn was looking stuff up, Jesse and Lexi were on it, you and I were working on we all together, we were like, we're not going. It was after 5, and everybody was ready to go home, and we were like, there's no going home till this is settled. I got on the phone, hammered out some details of what we needed, and we were successful at getting that problem not to wait till Monday, but to handle it right then and there when it crossed our desk on Friday, which was a huge piece of the puzzle that sometimes if you can solve the problems and not let them linger, they don't build into bigger issues.
Snowball.
And that's part of the fun about us working together and enjoying our company. Okay, fun one. You ready?
Yeah.
I will say this, and I know every agent always remembers their first deal.
Yeah.
what are you most looking forward to about helping your first buyer or seller?
Most looking forward to, honestly, just the process itself is probably what I'm looking forward to the most. Taking them for showings.
It's exciting. You get to go shopping, right? It's like
literally going shopping for
a house or
like
property.
Your favorite thing. You can make it and look until you find exactly what you want.
What you're looking for.
So awesome. And
I will tell you, that I still remember my first deal. It was a great piece of land that we sold in Hudson. I'm still really good friends with the guy who bought it. He started my career. You will always remember that first and be really like, I want to say appreciative of those people more than anybody else, because it's the first time that you actually are able to transact a property, and you walk through the whole way from start to finish, from the client starting, finding the property, doing the paperwork, getting through the transaction. You're going to have a lot more help than I did. I was like,
exactly.
Feeling around trying to figure it out and making phone calls, but it was fantastic. And then getting to the end where you can hand somebody the keys. To me, there's two really amazing pieces in this business. Negotiating the contract terms, that there's a high that comes with that. That's like really neat that
when you can help them out.
You get the juices, man. When you put the deal together and that for me, and it might be different for you.
Yeah.
That is one of the biggest things. And when you close, and everybody thinks it's the paycheck, and it's literally for me the last thing I consider in the whole process. It's when you hand somebody the keys and you see them smile and they walked in, especially when it's their first house. Yeah. Like these folks have been renting, and this is their this is where their family now happens. Yeah. This is where life is going to happen for their family in this particular property, and to me that is the most powerful thing. So when I hand somebody the keys, so I'll be curious to follow up on that, and you'll have to let me know on what as we get through that process. And it's not going to take long. You're gonna be there soon. We're going to start doing some great things, some open houses and stuff. So some of you guys will be able to come out and meet Hunter and me at some open houses that we're going to be posting probably week after next, because we got a couple things. I'm going to be gone for a conference.
Don't be afraid to come out.
Yeah, come out and say hello and just chat with us.
Just meet.
And so changing gears a little bit, I want you, and not to put you on the spot, but you're on camera. You joined something this morning. Give us some information on that, because okay, I'm going to give you guys a little insight on them. I did not recommend this to him. I didn't say, go and do this. He was proactive at doing this, which is exactly the drive that I want to see behind somebody that I'm going to be working alongside and mentoring in this business. And that drive is so important. Also at your age to be able to be doing this is really cool. But to then also have the drive and like the nuts to be able to go, okay, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna stick my neck out here. And that's what it takes in this business. You have to stick your neck out. You have to be present. You have to be involved. You have to be on camera. You already did that. How many views did you get on that reel you did?
On Facebook.
You're about 1,000.
Yesterday.
I know I saw it this morning. It was about 1,000.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, so he did a quick video. So again, the drive is there. So it's really cool. And I just tell us about what you joined this morning.
Yeah, no. So a big thing for me is if I'm going to do something, I have always had this mentality that I'm going to do everything I can to do the best that I can, right? So
love that.
Just looking around, kind of seeing things that I can do in the community to kind of get myself out there and just be a part of it more and just stick my neck out, like you said. I decided to go in today to Mitchell High School this morning. My mother is actually part of the SAC committee as just a parent, and I talked to Michelle Chamberlain, who had recommended the scholarship to me in the first place, which is kind of crazy because it comes full circle, right?
It always does. It
was a year, 2 years ago where I'm sitting here applying for a DJ scholarship and I end up getting it, and now I'm coming back 2 years later and saying hi in my Remax shirt, and I'm an agent, which is
pretty powerful stuff. So.
Crazy, but I show up and just kind of introduce myself to the group and everyone, and
the group is Mitchell alumni, is that right?
No, it's just the Mitchell kind of SAC committee, and it's got.
What does the acronym stand for? I know, I put you on the spot.
Honestly, it beats me, but it's.
We'll follow up on that.
Yeah, definitely gonna follow up on that, but.
But it's another spot that you're able to get some exposure, get some community involvement in, some people that maybe don't already know you now get to know you, and now get to understand what you're doing.
Exactly.
One thing I do want to point out, you're still in school. So Hunter's doing this while he's in college. I don't know how many of you know how difficult this business is, but it's very difficult. I know I make it look really easy on camera and really easy on Facebook. This is a very difficult and challenging business. I couldn't even imagine doing this while going to school. I finished my master's degree, and when I finished that is when I got into the business. I was 20. I was about 25. I think I was 26 when I got licensed. So here you are, almost 10. 8 years prior to that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't imagine. So the drive that it's going to take, and it's really neat to see that you're going to learn this. And the other funny part is, college is a great experience, and college of business, you're going to learn a lot of different. But you're being here and experiencing like an actual business.
You're going to be able to learn a lot more.
It's going to make sense. Like you're going to hear like terms and things that might happen in school, and they're going to explain stuff in marketing, which you're going to understand. You're going to, I know why they do that. Oh, I would do this. This is how I would do it. Your engagement will be great in the classroom.
Definitely.
But it is really refreshing to see that all hope is not lost with the younger generations. And now, as I'm the old person saying this, I just can't even believe I'm saying it. But no, it's really nice to see somebody your age that has drive and is able to accomplish many things at such a young age. And I'm really, really looking forward to working with you for a very long time. So
me too.
I think it's going to be a great thing for everybody. Okay, one more question before we do a quick fire question round. Okay,
Scary.
What's one piece of advice you'd give someone considering jumping into real estate now that you've kind of started as an intern and are licensed? I know I gave you a lot of like nuggets as we went along the way. Like, what's something you would pass on?
Well, something I would definitely recommend is something that may not be super easy for most people to do, but to find a mentor. Like I found DJ. I got very lucky in the way I found him. Finding a mentor and finding someone that can just guide you throughout the whole process and kind of show you along the ropes and even just take you under their wing, take you to different appointments, different things, just
expose you to things.
I was doing like just random showings with you and just learning the business, coming there, staying there for the whole day, not getting paid, just going there to learn, right? And that's something that I think is very valuable. And
100%.
It allowed me to just understand the terms, everything that they're doing live, just like while I'm here now. I already have a decent grasp on everything that's kind of going on.
And you also, so then as he learned stuff, we gave him more and then started really allowing you to do some weekend admin stuff. Yeah. So then he was able to do the back office work of writing the contracts and going in and understanding the terminology on that and why we fill certain things out and what information we need to complete an offer package that goes with on an appointment or to purchase a property. So you were exposed to those like back office paperwork stuff, and now you're licensed. So now you're going to learn the agent side of stuff.
Exactly.
So you're going to be able to really come out the gate. Like if I said to you, here's an address, go write a contract on this, you understand the process and can do that already. There is no other way that any of the agents that took the class with you that have passed that had none of that experience are where you are today, starting out as an agent. Yeah. Like you're so far, you're at a year or two's worth of experience where you're at now, just starting. So it's an incredible where you're going to go with it, because now your knowledge base is so great when it comes to because of how we did that. But I really appreciate that on the piece of advice. I will share something that I think is really important, and I really think the biggest piece of advice that I gave you that was really successful, that worked, that I applied to myself, was I took the class in person for real estate. So we always say you take the real estate class to get licensed, and then you do a memory dump and you throw out 90% of what you learned in that class because it's never going to come up in the actual business. Yeah. However, taking it in person, the success rate of passing the test, first time, mind you, he passed it first time. I passed it first time. I took it in class. The data points that I have is if you take it in person, it's a lot more intense. It requires you to drive there and drive back and go, it's significantly more than taking it online.
But the only thing is like if you really want to do it and you are going to put everything into it, then you got to be dedicated to it, and you got to
the drive.
It comes out worth it, because if you're able to do all that and you end up passing that test on the first try, do you know how that just makes you, it's the best feeling in the world, is just being able to say that and being able to say like, it paid off, you know?
Yep. And I also think too that, and this is nothing against not passing it on the first time. It's not. I think your success rate of taking it in class and really applying yourself is the answer to that. So anybody that's coming into this business that is seeing that as a hurdle, that's my recommendation.
Definitely.
I think the recommendation for you to take it in class, you might have taken it online otherwise. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I do a good chunk of like online school, so I probably would have been like, hey,
I can take this
think
online.
I can take this online, but I guarantee I wouldn't have learned the amount that I did as I did in person.
Yeah, so that's my little nugget there. Okay, quick fire round.
All right, let's go.
Coffee or energy drink on a showing day?
Honestly,
And I didn't drink coffee at your age either.
I don't drink either. I do not like energy drinks, so I'm gonna go with coffee, even though I don't really drink coffee much.
Okay. Dream list.
A what?
A dream listing. Sorry,
Oh,
I didn't finish. Historic bungalow or a modern new build?
Honestly, I really like the modern stuff. That's a really good style in my eyes, so I'm probably gonna go with
It's
the modern.
probably easier to do a modern.
Yeah,
The historic listings,
especially to sell. Like, yeah, it's a lot.
there's a lot more inspection stuff on historic homes, but they both have. For me, the charm of a historic building is really cool.
Yeah.
But that's just again preference. Okay, favorite Pasco hangout spot.
Favorite Pasco hangout spot.
You're at the gym a lot.
Honestly, I do go. Yeah, I like going to the gym a good bit. That's a good idea. Yeah.
Okay, I have another one that isn't on this list. So this is a little bit about you. What is the one thing? So like, do you have a goal of starting and running as hard as you're running? Like, is it a new car or a buying off your first house or like whatever that might, like what is that carrot in front of why you're running? Like I'm a big car guy, so I'm always like, man, if I do X, Y, and Z, I could get another new car or whatever it might be, and that's what drives me.
Definitely, yeah.
What makes it tick for you?
So something that's always interested me is investment properties. That's just for some reason ever since I was young, like that's been like the main thing I've always like looked at. I'm like, oh my gosh, it would be so cool to own 10 homes and be able to say I have 10 homes. Like that's just something that's like surreal to me. So definitely to be able to buy my house first off, like to be able to buy my own house. That's
I think you got to have
insane.
a good base. I always say that your homestead is like a very important. That's your castle, your fortress, whatever that looks like. That is definitely a big thing. But investment properties, buying your first place, like especially at your age, if it's a year or two from now and you're in the business and you're successful, you buy something like a duplex or you buy a triplex where you live in one piece of it and rent out the others, have a little cash flow. I mean, could be a great thing, especially getting started, and eventually you pay that off. I mean, you could make a financial plan because you're starting so young that by the time you're 40, so let's give it 20 years, you could be in a really, really, really good place financially without being ultra successful in this business. If you're ultra successful in this business, you're going to be retired by 40, which is
definitely the goal.
That's the goal. I mean, that's my goal. I'm not quite there yet, but we're very close. But that's definitely one of those things. And again, retirement can be anything. It could be I'm working less, or I'm able to go. Retirement can mean so many different things. It doesn't mean you stop working. Most of us don't stop working. We
love
of times,
this if you get to the point where you're ready to retire at 40, you love it so much. You're
love
not going to want to just fully go out of it.
And then okay, so I'll be 37 here in a couple of weeks. What the hell am I going to do with my time?
Yeah.
I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to sit at the house and no. So retirement could look like different things. Am I going to maybe take a couple extra weeks a year and travel or do something I enjoy, or maybe play golf on a Friday? Yeah, those are things that I enjoy doing that are part of like that, where once you're in a really good place with work that you can do that. And it took a lot of years of hustle and bustle to get to that. So that's really cool. I think that's a smart thing, right? Well, I bought cars because that's what I love, but
a little bit
so
of
that's
appreciating
really cool.
asset there.
Last thing, if you had a for sale sign that represented you as an agent, what would your tagline be? And you're a marketing guy, so like I always say, I'll give you an example. I say call me because my phone,
call me.
The number on my signs, it rings in my pocket, and I'm that easy to get a hold of. So that was always my thing. You're gonna have, and again, this is something that you might not be able to answer off the cuff, but
I mean, honestly, it's really off the top of my head right here, but maybe something like, since I'm a newer agent, pretty young, maybe like a fresh feel with bold deals, you know.
Oh, damn, that was like AI made that one up. That was really good.
Got
Yeah.
that, wired over here.
and I think too, like those are all just marketing things that
Yeah.
we work on, but I thought that was a funny one. So, and that also
like
shows
that
like your personality and like creativeness. Of,
Exactly.
I could never come up with that on the end. Like that's,
I-
I'm a person of function, so like I'm able to do things and, but not creative. You asked me to make a tagline, and we were like, what spell tagline? Like I don't.
Yeah, I was
you know,
gonna say
so.
that kind of caught me off guard right there.
Yep.
But.
So, all right. Well, Hunter, welcome to the team. We're really excited to have you. This is going to wrap up our podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys on the next one.